Get ready with me whilst I get you ready for the Canadian F1 race weekend. And as per usual, my makeup will be inspired by the Canadian flag. The F1 cars will be taking to the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve between the 13th and the 15th of June. And it's a fast and flowy low downforce circuit, which is made up of quick straights and heavy braking zones. More specifically, there are 3 DRS zones and 14 corners. Now 2 of these corners are iconic. There is the hairpin chicane at turn 10 and the Wall of Champions at turn 14. Now you might be thinking, what on earth is the Wall of Champions? So I'm going to explain that. Essentially, at the exit of turn 14, there is a concrete wall which is pretty easy to hit, and big names have done just that, and as you might expect, that has included some world champions. Similarly, it has limited runoff areas and high curbs, which means the track can be rather unforgiving. However, given the number of DRS zones, it's unsurprising that the circuit is relatively good for providing overtaking opportunities. Moving on to the tyres, they may play a rather important role in this race. So the tyre strategy could be a little different to last year's prediction, because if it had been a dry race, they were expecting to see a 2-stopper with a mixture of mediums and hards. Now by going a step softer, that might slightly offset the fact that this track is relatively easy on the tyres, which is often attributed to the fact that it isn't very abrasive and the tyres won't be exposed to loads of force. Furthermore, tyre strategy could be a rather interesting one at this track, given the probability of a safety car and a virtual safety car, which is 83% and 50% respectively. Also, the circuit has a high track evolution, even during sessions, so qualifying could be quite intense. Next up is the weather, and that isn't very dramatic at all. It has been forecasted to be in the low to mid 20s, and they are expecting a light to moderate breeze and sunny intervals. Finally, that leaves us with the news that is directly related to the race weekend. Firstly, Lance Stroll will be competing this weekend, and he has done a little bit of preparation at Paul Ricard. Secondly, this will be the 200th Grand Prix for the Haas F1 team, so they're bringing a special edition livery. Lastly, this could be the final time that the Canadian Grand Prix takes place in June, and that's because the 2026 F1 calendar has been released and the Grand Prix has been moved to May in order to fit in with the logistics better. However, this does mean that it will clash with the Indy 500 weekend, which is a rather interesting choice.